So today we decided to build wicking beds. And so we bought these 2 containers. We actually cut the drums in half now, and it started raining. How wonderful is this? Because we've been struggling with drought, serious drought now for months, and so this is fantastic news. Yeah, what we do is we drill little holes in the bottles so they can keep their structure like that, but it will still let in water and let out water, so the water can go easily into the bottle and out of the bottle without dropping the soil. We ran out of bottles to finish that things, so we are waiting for a lady to call us. She's got some bottles that we can collect, and so this week we've been paid to come and cut down these trees and come and remove all of the living organic matter from this yard. I received about 3 comments on my last video about mulching, and I can't agree more. We need more mulching, we need a lot more mulching, but there isn't a lot in the township. So what we are doing is, while we are waiting for the lady to collect the bottles, or for us to go and collect the bottles from the lady, we decided to fill up the bucket with mulch and then to take that into the township. So we just arrived at Matthias's house, and Matthias is offloading all of the mulch that we gathered to put between his plants. And a user with the name XSI, something like that, commented and asked, I'm surprised not to see more water collected on the roofs. And I want to show you the logic and the maths and the things on this house. So this house is 4 meters by 10 meters, 40 squares, and so for each milliliter that you collect 1 liter of water on every square of roof surface, collecting surface. So this is 40 squares. In other words, if 1 milliliter falls, then it's 40 liters. So in this area we get 400 milliliters a year. That is 16,000 liters of water. Now there's a couple of hiccups. One hiccup is, worst case scenario, up to 50 milliliters of water at a time, but I did the math on 40 milliliters that can fall. So if you get 40 milliliters, then you will need water tanks of 1,600 liters. So I would put 2 IBC tanks of 1,000 liters each here with a gutter. Then every 40 mil you get 1,600 liters. Then you have to empty them before the next rain comes. Otherwise your storage is full and your water runs over, so you have to use it fast. Currently our water storage works out to be around 2 Namibian dollars per liter, so that would work out at about 4,000 Namibian dollars plus, let's say 1,000 Namibian dollars to buy and install the gutter and so on. So that's about 5,000 Namibian dollars or 270 US dollars for a system like this. $270 is currently about what Matthias makes in 2 months. It is no longer working for me. We just do the gardening thing together. He's working for another company that's training him how to work with cheetahs and so on. It's a passion of his, and so that's about 2 months salary for him. But now I did the maths, and they use about 80 liters of water a day. So if they can gather 16,000 liters of water a year, that is half of the year's supply, 6.4 months of water that they can gather in this 2 tanks. So they ran straight to the shop. So after I bought from the 2 children the mealies and the meat that they were selling, they ran straight to the shop to buy some sweets for themselves. Yeah, show me what you have. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. They don't have to thank me. It's okay. It's really okay. They don't have to say thank you. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm really happy. Another interesting comment on my previous video was from Steve, and I mentioned that the locals see mulch and dirt and plastic waste as the same thing, or that was my perception in any case. And he asked whether it could be whether they perhaps have the same word to describe both. And I remember that triggered something in me. I remember when I was in Mozambique, the locals had the same word for, was the same word they would use for clever. So when they told you that you are clever, it was almost never a compliment. So clever and deep was the same thing. And I thought back then, I read the book from Tony Robbins that spoke about how you only can perceive emotions that you can put into words, or that you can change your emotions by using your words. I thought that I remember back at the time in Mozambique, I thought that it must be a very destructive thing on the culture to see smart and deep as one of the same. And so when Steve mentioned that there might only be one word for plastic as well as for mulch or organic matter, it triggered something in me, and I asked Matthias about it today, and he said yes, indeed, we use the word iyando, and in their local language, iyando means in all of those things, plastics and organic matter lying on the ground is iyando, and it is seen as dirt. And so that very much can explain why getting the people to mulch, and for us now to get Matthias's wife to agree for us to mulch between her plants. Even though she, in the past, when I asked her about mulch, she explained it to me and how she understood it and how it stops evaporation and so on. It was difficult for us to convince her to use mulch between her crops, because they see it as dirt and everybody around us sees it as dirty. So the soil that we're going to use is the ones that we get from the mulch pit. So we're just putting the soil on the side first. And so we took this drum, 200-liter drum, cut it in the middle, and then we drilled a couple of drainage holes, 4 drainage holes to be exact, on the side. Now you can do this with an IBC tank as well. That will actually work. You can get a lot more food, you can almost say, for per dollar that you spend. So what Matthias is doing now is he's put in soil. So we make a little column of soil touching the bottom, even a little bit more maybe from the side, and then we put these bottles around it to create a water void. So once you have your soil column in the middle and your bottles around it, you can then insert the pipe, the feeding tube pipe, almost say. I cut it at an angle below, so when it touches the ground, it doesn't seal. There's always a hole open. So you put that on the side where you want to put in water. Add that all the way to the bottom. So this is the final product. And so the theory is, you fill up the pipe here, that fills up the water void below. The water then gets sucked in through the column with capillary action, I think it's called in English, and the overflow are these little holes on the side. So if you add too much water, it runs out there, all around the side. So the other thing that we're also adding is, Matthias has got a worm drum, and we added some biochar in there, and so this, we're also adding that to that drum. This is the kind of compost that we get from there. It smells really good. You can see the little earthworms in there, so we're adding that, all of that in there as well, or some of that in there. And so Maria promised that she will plant and she will mulch, so you'll have to subscribe if you want to see the update.